Hey all, today we are going to see a match between Arjun versus Toronto from Vietnam. Let's just jump right into the game and discuss what happened in the game and what are these few subtleties that Arjun played and what Tron missed. The game opened with c4. The game went with the English opening. Knight f3, d6, a kind of a sideline and hoping for an f5 if g3 is played, and which happened in the game, g3, f5. Now you can see a great center, but still you can say this diagonal is weak, and we have to see if white uses this kind of weakness in his game. Bishop g2, bishop e7, knight e5. Knight d5 is the first kind of a weird move. I think it's not a preparation from the player from the white side, because we can see he spent close to 3 to 4 minutes, and I think he's trying to make Arjun out of his prep. Arjun simply kept on playing with his knight f6, knight e7, queen e7. Knight e7 is kind of a bad move because we can easily see he's now behind in development because he has developed only his bishop, and the other side, black has developed his two pieces and ready to castle. Let's just see what happened in the game. d4, trying to open up the center because he has the two bishops, so it's quite logical. Castles, knight f6. Okay, engine is like just .com engine is showing it's a bad move, but it's hard to prove why it's a bad move, so you can skip this kind of subtleties. c5. Now Arjun is saying like you should capture the one of the pawns and let me open up the position. So it's kind of a very weird kind of play. And strangely, actually, white chose to close the center. And the normal principle is to open up the center whenever you have the two bishops. But okay, white player chose it like to close up the center and later strike with something like this. Then e4, f5 maybe, f4 maybe. Let's just see what happens in the game. h6. Okay, it's a simple idea to stop knight g5 and bishop g5 ideas. So we can understand why h6 is played. Okay, engine is saying it's a question mark, but still, it's not that of a bad move. Castles, queen e8. Okay, now we can argue Arjun has these two kind of developing move, but still it's kind of hard. Why, like what this bishop is doing here? At least this, and at the same time, the knight d7 is not doing that much because only knight b6 is a quite good move, but still knight b6 is not doing that much. So queen e8 was understandable, and at the same time he's aiming for a long-term queenside attack. Let's just see what happened in the game. b5, a good move. He's trying to open up the queenside. So Arjun chose b6, a quiet move, at least making space for this bishop. Takes. And bishop d2. Okay, now we can say it's a bad move because I think group b1 is the move which engine is suggesting, and it's a good move, and at least he has some kind of play down this b5. Okay, let's just see what happens in the game. He took bishop d2. So it's not it's like a kind of a bad move because we can easily see like bishop is not doing anything. Okay, the only square is this, or if bishop a5, which again is not doing that much. Now Arjun played I think it's a very creative and a good move, f5. It's a very, okay, to understand this move, okay, I will explain this move after two moves. So why? The first thing is, okay, he's opening up this bishop. So you can see at the same time, he is combining his pieces for a kingside attack. So now it's clear Arjun is going all in the kingside. So now he took and played e5, e4. Now you will understand why this move is great, because now knight h4 is not possible. Let's just see. Okay, now let's just see if he played a simple move like this. Now if I played this, sorry, let's just see. Okay, f5, he took, and let's just say we don't play f5, we just play bishop. Okay, if you directly play e4, then knight h4 is possible. Let's just assume after f5 takes, now knight h4 is not possible because of queen here, and I'm just winning this piece. So this is kind of a very subtle move and a deep move to understand. So f4 was a quite like double question mark is too harsh from the chess.com, but still it's a very good move. It's a very practical move over the board and hard to refute. And now Arjun, I guess, from this move took over this game. Like this, knight e1, again a backward move, and now this knight also has not that much of great scope. Like knight e3, he has to waste 2 tempi to come into the game. Arjun went knight d7, knight c2, knight b3. Okay, at least making this Bishop's diagonal clear. Knight a3. Okay, the knight at the rim is a dim, and now you will see why. Because this knight will play no major role in the game from now onwards. Queen h5. Now Arjun goes like Arjun is clearing his plan. Okay, I'm going to attack your h2, f2 in future because I have this knight g4, and you can never play h3 or f3 kind of move. So it's quite clear Arjun is going for the all-out attack. And in this kind of position, it's very hard to like defend because direct e2 is e3 is met by bishop g4. Then I'll play bishop f3, and like you cannot even hold this position. Rook c1, kind of overprotecting this and hoping for some knight b4 and attacking this d6 square. But I don't think so. It's gonna matter much. Bishop g4, attacking e3, e2. So he has to commit something. I think f3 is the kind of enterprising move. I think white should play this, but again over the board it's very hard, and for us to see the engine and then analyze, it's quite easy for us to like analyze games. So he went rook e1, a quite logical move, but then came, I think, the best move, e3 of the game. Now this kind of sacrifices are quite it resembles Steinitz, so it says Bondaretsky kind of player, and it's a very famous game. If you will get time, you can check out that game. It was around, I think, in 1895 Hastings, which Pillsbury won. Bishop e2. Now you will see like what is the point of this? The point is I'll play rook e8, maybe some exchange sacrifice. This square has become weak, so I can always have threats against this f2 and h2 pawns. Bishop h3. Okay, a mating idea. I'm threatening queen g4. So you have to play bishop f3, the kind of an only move. Now knight g4. Again, a brilliant move. It's quite simple. You can never take. Again, a mate into is there. Queen d3, kind of hoping to like some kind, like the only kind of defensive moves in this kind of positions are to exchange as many pieces. But I don't think so. Black is going to exchange pieces. Queen h4. Okay, the engine is like swinging up and down, but still the bar is coming up and down, but still it's a good move. I'm threatening this, and it's setting up a quite trap, I guess. Knight b4, knight b5, sorry, my bad. Rook a8. Now I think the player from white side like just overlooked black's next move. Queen g6. I don't know. Okay, it's kind of like, okay, he thought he's threatening this, but rook takes e3. The best move in the position, I think the best move in the game, rook e3. You cannot take this, mate into, like if I will take queen f2, king h1, queen takes h2 is a mate. So only move, bishop g4. Again a soccer. Rook takes f4. Because if you takes all, like it's not that great. It's kind of in losing. I don't know why. So bishop takes g4. Now again Arjun has to decide, but he finds the best move in the position. And I think he saw this all. Rook takes f5, and even the next move he saw, playing before rook e3, bishop f3. Now the idea behind bishop g4 is simply I will take this, and now this pawn is falling, and it's lost. You cannot, there is no even perpetual, and this pawn is like its own path because rook e8 could be the mate or kind of some perpetuals. So he simply played bishop a3, rook e5. A simple move. I'm just threatening check and kind of mate. King h1, rook g4, rook g5, queen e8 check, king h2, and I think the like it's near rook g1. It's like okay, it's kind of inviting black to find a very beautiful checkmate. Bishop d2, and I think and queen e3, and I hope you can find the next two moves. Queen takes h2, checkmate. A brilliant move by Arjun, because if he took, and this rook h5 is just rook h4 is just a checkmate. And I think it's a kind of a very brilliant attacking chess by the Arjun. And this game actually gave India the 1.5 lead, which that's why we are in a race of like silver medal in the Asian Games. So it's a great news for Indians too. The major from the opening itself, white player was quite like not playing all the objective moves. Like in the opening itself, he just exchanged this knight with this bishop and wasted 2-3 time pace. And the other part is like this. He willingly closed the center, even having the two bishops. And this bishop d2 move was not that great by the white player. Okay, it's quite easy to criticize something, but still, for the sake of instructiveness, we have to see what are the few critical moments in the game. f5 was quite a creative move because it opens up this attack for queen h5, bishop g4, queen h3, something, bishop h3, providing this the only defensive piece from here. Takes, and e4 was a great idea. Then the two pawn sacrifice idea. And after that, just Arjun steamrolled him. It was quite like this e2-3 idea. This kind of things we can learn from his game or a good player's game. That's why it's like always helpful to see these kind of games and emulate them in our games. So takes, and this attacking ideas are quite great. Bishop, rook takes, and this, okay, these are all the part of the calculations. He must have shown all the subtleties in the variations. That's why he went for this rook e3, rook f5 ideas. And now it was just the ending was quite good. Bishop d7, making way for the queen h2, queen e3, queen takes h. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you like this video. Bye.